Indiana Fever many fans is still poking fingers at head coach Stephanie White for actually making the game not entertaining anymore, bro. This motion offense has to be addressed, and Stephanie White has to be held accountable because it's truly the offense that she's running, and it is not for Caitlin Clark at this point. Now, both Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White spoke to the media immediately.
What really went down behind the scenes? Caitlin Clark just dropped a raw and brutally honest truth bomb about her health. And she didn't pull any punches when it came to Stephanie White either. Was it shade? Was it the truth? Or a savage mix of both? Delivered with the precision of a cold-blooded jump shot? You'll have to watch to believe it, because this wasn't your typical press conference. This was Caitlin, and censored. And yes, jaws hit the floor. Grab the popcorn. You're gonna need it.
I thought at times we could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, like not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo. We still got to play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and you know, that wasn't why we lost.
I can't hold you, man. That kind of looked like she let that slip out, man. I don't know. But I mean, we all see it. When they play slow, it's just not a good team, man. They're not as good as we see that they could be, right? So they need to play fast, man. I think, you know, they don't necessarily look that good when they're playing half-court ball. Maybe taking something from the Valkyries, man. The Valkyries run, all right? They be running.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just look tired. She looks spiritually drained. Running on fumes, caffeine, and pure determination. She's pushing through while the WNBA seems to throw every obstacle imaginable her way. It's like a warped version of American Ninja Warrior, only with tougher referees and even worse coaching. Forget the hardwood. She's navigating a minefield.
The league needs to take care of Caitlin, not for special treatment purposes, but that's who everybody's there to see. Everybody wants to see Caitlin Clark play. And if you let other teams and other people beat the shit out of her, she's going to spend 2 weeks out injured. And your attendance is going to drop because people aren't going to get the chance to see her. And if you actually want to be paid the same as the NBA players, obviously not by actual dollar for dollar, but for revenue percentage, you need to protect her. You need her to be playing at her best and not be having the...
While she's in the face of hope growth and skyrocketing ticket sales, Caitlin Clark has also become the referee's favorite punching bag, as if they confuse her for a tackling dummy. This isn't just about missed calls anymore. It's starting to feel like some bizarre science experiment, testing how many illegal screens and shoulder checks one player can endure before she breaks down into emotional mush.
Aces defeated the Indiana Fever 89-81. And this game was disappointing for many fans, not only for the fact that it seemed like the Fever had this one in the bag, but they kind of gave it away at the end of the game, but also because it seemed like there was something off with this Fever team. They didn't have the same energy and spark that we all know and love. So many fans are asking, what is going on?
And it's not a pretty sight. The whistles have become wind instruments that only seem to blow when she's involved in the rule book. It now reads like a choose-your-own-adventure novel co-written by chaos and inconsistency. If someone sneezes on her, play on. But if she so much as exhales near an opponent, it's a flagrant 2 and a 5-game suspension. Make it make sense.
I have figured out the solution to the Indiana Fever's problems. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. This is what we got to do. We got to put Caitlin Clark off ball. We need to run a motion offense. So when the defense takes away what Caitlin Clark does best, we have other players that can still perform. So when she does have bad games, we're not completely dead in the water. I think that is the best way to move forward with this Indiana Fever team.
The physicality isn't just intense. It's borderline criminal, not metaphorically. Legitimately suspicious. There are actual muggings with less contact. At this point, someone should probably check if these defenders are hiding brass knuckles under their wristbands. And the league's response? Absolute silence, or worse, passive-aggressive Instagram posts pretending everything's fine while their brightest star gets body slammed into irrelevance. And let's not even start on Indiana. Emotionally draining doesn't begin to cover it. The vibes are off. The air feels heavy. The locker room energy? like a haunted group therapy session sponsored by Broken Dreams and Warm Gatorade. It's as if Caitlin walked into a franchise built entirely out of IKEA furniture, fragile, unstable, and impossible to put together. Without losing your mind, you'd think Indiana would roll out the red carpet for a generational talent. Instead, they handed her a paper towel and pointed toward a leaky faucet. She's out here trying to play 4D chess while her teammates are busy playing hungry hippos. The offense is undefined. The defense? Non-existent. And somehow, Stephanie White is still on the sidelines drawing up plays like she's playing Pictionary with invisible INK.NO system. No direction. Just vibes, and not the good kind.
First talk about Caitlin Clark. So she struggled once again in this game. She was 7 for 20 from the field and 1 for 10 from 3, which puts her at 1 for 17 over the past few games. And if you're a fan of Caitlin Clark, you know that this is so unlike her. She is arguably the best shooter in the WNBA, and she is having a significant cold streak over the past 2 games. But her missing shots isn't actually what bothers me. The thing that bothered me most in the game yesterday was the one shot that she passed up. Now, she had been missing a few shots, and if you guys were on my live stream, I said the thing that she needs to do is to continue shooting. Shooters shoot. The only way to break a cold streak is to continue shooting.
Every time Clark glances toward the bench, it's like staring into the abyss. Stephanie White stands there, flailing her arms like she's trying to order a latte through a malfunctioning drive-thru speaker, while the game spirals deeper into disorder. This isn't coaching, it's performance art. 1 second she's demanding speed, the next she's shrieking for patience. And the players are left trapped in a high-speed identity crisis, scrambling to decode which contradictory plan they're supposed to follow that's starting to take a toll. Clark's game, once sharp and electric, now feels like it's stuck in buffering mode. Her passes arrive a beat too late, her confidence visibly dented. She's second-guessing herself where she used a charge in with fearless brilliance. And honestly, who wouldn't? Imagine trying to play at an elite level while dodging elbows and scanning the sideline for signs of intelligent life at this rate. Caitlin might need a sabbatical or an exorcist. Maybe both. Because what's happened to her isn't just poor basketball strategy, it's psychological sabotage. This league was supposed to uplift and protect its stars, not with them down and defading highlight reels and bitter memories. And yet here she is, being slowly drained by the same system that once begged for her spark, but never learned how to support it.
Wait, what'd you say? Wait, what? Did you just tell me that Stephanie White went on an interview tour this whole entire offseason saying exactly that? Did you just tell me Stephanie White went on an interview? So how come when Caitlin Clark has a bad game, this team looks like absolute dog shit? How come when Caitlin Clark isn't busy backpacking this team, it looks like absolute dog shit, coach? Just a question. Just a question. What we saw today, folks, I feel bad for everybody that had to sit through that. Everybody that wasted 2 hours and 25 minutes watching the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces. I feel bad that we had to sit through that. That was a tough watch.
And the cruelest part? She hasn't even hit her sophomore stride yet. This was supposed to be her glow-up season, the breakout, the I've got this moment. Instead, she's fighting for survival in a WNBA version of the Hunger Games, armed with a water pistol and a cast of mismatched teammates. While the fan base is practically begging for reinforcements, league officials seem more interested in playing Sudoku with the rulebook that it's almost poetic, if you like your poetry Shakespearean and tragic. A once-in-a-generation talent trapped in a never-ending loop of frustration, where every game is just a new remix of heartbreak, bruised ribs, and misfired potential. And through it all, Stephanie White stands at the podium with that same smug smile, as if she's executing some grand design that only exists in an alternate universe. Get her out now, before she starts doubting the instincts that made her a force of nature, before she trades her fire for exhaustion, before she wakes up one day and realizes she's not leading a movement, she's just stuck in a slow-burning dumpster fire, trying to score on a hoop nailed to the side.
Well, I think you have to look at things a little bit holistically. I think Caitlin Clark is a really hard player to officiate, much like Diana Taurasi was throughout the course of her career, for a couple of reasons. Caitlin Clark regularly gets picked up in the full court. She also gets blitzed more over the course of her career than any player in WNBA history or in that period of time. And she also creates some contact herself on the offensive end of the floor. She is very difficult to officiate because of all of the contact that's happening around her.
Well, I be damned. I be damned. 7 for 20 from the field. 1 for 10 from the three-point line. And look at those turnovers. 8 turnovers. She leads the league in turnovers. But guess what? Her Clarkies are only going to be impressed, and they're going to brag about the 19 points and 10 assists. Me personally, I'm all about efficiency. I'm concerned about those last 3. Them turnovers, which she leads the league in turnovers. She is shooting horrible from the field. And as far as them three-pointers, in the last 2 games, she's only made 1 3-pointer, and that's the one against the